Welcome back to your practice with me, Kelly. You will need a blanket for your knees or to sit on, or a towel, something you can find at home, and a block would be really helpful. If you don't have a block, find one. No, I'm just kidding. You can even try to find something sturdy, like a tall water bottle, something that's very sturdy though, that can help bring the floor closer to you. Once you have those two things in your possession, take a seat with me. So you definitely have to fact check me, but I heard one time that the characters in Chinese for both heart and mind are the same. And I think that's so beautiful because really, I do think that those two things are the same coin, two sides of the same coin. And if we can see our heart mind as a thing that exists sometimes which feels in contrast, but also is always in unison, then we might be able to utilize the inherent intelligence and wisdom of that connection as a way to self-navigate in the world and our own internal landscapes and the outside world, in the way that we relate, make decisions, and move. So how we'll put that into a little bit more of a practice is by continuing our deep dive in self-inquiry that if you've been practicing with me, you've been doing. So find a seat, one where you're upright without being too uptight about it. Rest your hands on your lap, whether they're together or just relaxing on your thighs is totally fine. Soften your gaze to the tip of your nose or even close your eyes. Deep check. That'll pretty much be the theme, the non-physical theme of our practice today. Check in with your mind. How is your mind? What state of mind are you arriving to your practice with? What state of mind are you in this moment? How is your heart? What's on your heart? And how is your breath? What does the quality of your breath tell you about yourself? What does it show you? And things change moment to moment. How's your mind? How's your breath? How's your heart? We'll keep checking in as we move. Start to blink your eyes open. Rub your hands together vigorously until you create some warmth, positive chi. Place your hands at your heart. Full breath into that warmth, into that energy. And exhale, maybe even an audible sigh out. Relax your hands back at your sides. Today we are getting in towards a peak posture of Twisted Camel Pose, which requires not only lateral flexion and extension of the spine. If you flex one way, you're extending in the other. Flexion, extension. But we'll also include in that flexion some fun angles. We'll angle back at a diagonal in order to reach our back foot or a block. So that's what we're getting into. And as I said, you may end up using the blanket later for support on your knees. Put it to the side, or you can even use it under your knees in the moment. Then you might need your block. Let's have that to the side as well. Bring your hips towards your heels, knees wide for child's pose. Bring your arms out in front of you and rest your forehead on the ground or a block underneath your head if your head won't quite touch the floor. Relax your arms. Take them wide enough so you don't necessarily feel like you're holding the weight of yourself up with them. How's your mind? How's your heart? How is your breath? A deep check, a practice in paying attention. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, lift through your elbows, and lift your gaze forward. As you exhale, walk your hands over to your left side. You will need to move your block along with you if you're using it underneath your forehead. Try to see if you can crawl your right fingertips a little further than your left. Level your shoulders and relax your head. It might simply dangle between your biceps. You could sneak the block underneath again, or some of you, depending on the proportions of your body, the flexibility of your body, you may get your forehead to the ground, but don't let that be the goal. Press your right fingertips not only down, but kind of forward so you feel your right hip get closer to your right heel. Your inflection on your left side, an extension through your right side body. Inhale, feel that. Opening through your right side. And exhale here. Inhale, peek your head up, look in between your hands. Exhale, walk your hands through center and then all the way over to your right side. Crawl your left fingertips a little further than your right. Level your shoulders and relax your head. Again, you might have moved your block with you. You might just let your head not dangle, but relax between your biceps. And the side could be different. You may or may not have the opportunity, once again, to bring your forehead to the earth. When you inhale, press your left hand down and forward. When you exhale, feel your left hip move closer to your left heel. Inhale into the extension of your left side. And then exhale, bring more of a bend on your right side. Feel that flexion. Two sides of the same coin. One can't happen without the other. Just like the heart mind. Inhale, lift your head, look forward beyond your hands. And then exhale, walk your hands with palms down, back in front of you, your arms distance. Inhale, come up towards tabletop. And as you do, extend your right arm forward and up. When you exhale, move your right arm back towards whatever's behind you and your hips towards your heels again. This could be a good time to put the blanket underneath your knees if your knees are hurting you. Right arm back to meet left. You're in, I guess what would be an active child's pose. Inhale, come back up like you're doing tabletop, but reach your left arm forward and up. And then exhale, move your hips back towards active child's pose. Left arm reaches back, down, and swoops forward again. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inhale, like table, right arm forward and up. Exhale, right arm back and down to active child's pose. Inhale, left side, lift. Left arm as your hips come high. Exhale, reach back as your hips move back low. Active child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop. Walk your knees just under your hips. Keep your shoulders stacked over your wrists. When you exhale, tuck your toes under and round your spine, cat pose. Inhale, soften your belly. Stretch the skin of it forward, heart forward, chin forward, look up. Exhale, cat round. Curl in. Inhale, cow. Open up. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Hold your cow, but this time when you exhale, lift your knees, lift your hips, and press them back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out. Share your hips side to side. Stretch your head to one side and then the other. You can look underneath one arm and then alternate to the other. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, and wave your body through to plank. Exhale, bend your knees and press your hips back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, bend your knees, hips back and up. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, set your knees down. Walk them back underneath your hips. Inhale, send your right leg back. And when you exhale, kick your right heel to bum. Take your right leg out to your right side. Circle it 1 or 2 more times. Inhale, full orbit, and exhale down. Inhale, back out to the side. This time when you exhale, come up onto your right fingertips and step your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand. Help it all the way if you don't quite make it. Get light on your fingertips, so they're framing your right foot. Tuck your left toes under, and then inhale, lift off your left knee. This could be a good place to take 2 blocks underneath your hands if even on your fingertips, the floor feels really far away. As you exhale, squeeze your 2 feet, magnetize them towards one another until your hips lift a little. Inhale, can you press through your strong legs so you get lighter in your hands? Exhale here. Inhale, rise all the way up. You can use your hands under your right thigh and reach your arms up. If it hurts you to have your biceps framing your ears, you can bring your arms forward at a diagonal. Exhale here, continue to squeeze your 2 feet towards each other until you feel a little bit of a buoyancy beneath your seat. Inhale. Exhale. Ground your left heel, windmill your arms open so you're in warrior 2. Right knee over right ankle, right knee and toes forward. Left foot, the edge of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Arms out. I'll turn so my body is facing you. Inhale here. When you exhale, take the top of your left hand to your lower back and turn your right palm open. Inhale, move your right hip towards your right thigh. Try to keep that connection point of right hip towards right thigh, but when you exhale, right arm comes up and over, draw a rainbow across the sky. What tends to happen is that more weight pours to the back of the posture. And remember the right hip to right thigh thing and find that. And then imagine that you could take your right ribs and push them forward. You're in lateral flexion on your left side and extension on your right side. If it hurts to reach your right arm up and over, take your right hand behind your head, or maybe you just like that better. That's totally fine. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you stay bent in your right leg. Inhale. Now, when you exhale, hold the peaceful warrior shape that's in your upper body in the moment, but start to revolve so you pivot onto the ball of your left foot. Can you take your left hand to the back of your left thigh? Some of you might even touch your calf. So you're in a peaceful warrior shape, but now your hips are forward. Your 2 hip points are forward towards the top of your mat rather than open towards the long edge of your mat like we were in warrior 2. If it hurts to reach for the back of your leg, keep your left hand, maybe the top of it to your lower back. Inhale. Exhale, you're still in flexion on your left side. But now we're adding that diagonal. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down right and then left. Inhale, plank pose. When you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly and untuck your toes. Press through the tops of your feet, press your hips down. Inhale, lift up to Cobra Pose, heart and head lifts. Exhale down. Inhale, do that again, but this time look over your right shoulder. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up, look over your left shoulder. Exhale down. Tuck your toes, use your knees or not. Inhale, plank. And exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Deep check. How's your mind? How's your heart? How's your breath? Inhale, bend your knees from down dog, look forward. Exhale, step lunge or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift with your block or not. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall, arms up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Relax your arms down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, fingertips down. Step your left foot back. Root your palms, step your right foot back, and set both knees to the ground. This is again where you might slip your blanket underneath your knees. Inhale, send your left leg back and lift it up. When you exhale, kick your left heel to your bum and open your left leg out to your left side. Inhale. Exhale, circle it down and back open as you breathe in. Exhale, down and back open as you breathe in. Exhale, this time step your left foot to the outer edge of your left hand. Help it all the way. If it doesn't quite make it, that's totally okay. Fingertips frame your left foot. Feel free to use 2 blocks underneath hands if needed. Tuck back toes under now. And then inhale, lift off your right knee. Exhale, imagine your 2 feet had magnets on them. They wanted to touch. Squeeze your feet together until your hips lift a bit. And then inhale, rise up. You can use your hands to your left thigh or bring your arms straight out and up. Biceps frame ears or slightly at a diagonal. When you exhale, continue to squeeze your feet together till you feel a buoyancy beneath your seat. Breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, ground your right heel, open your arms up to warrior 2. Exhale, hands to hips, left knee over left ankle, left knee and toes forward. Left heel bisects right arch, outer edge of your right foot parallel to the back of your mat. Inhale, arms out to a T. And exhale here. Inhale, take the top of your right hand to low back, turn your left palm open. As you exhale, move your left hip towards your left thigh. Try to keep that when you inhale. Draw a big rainbow across the sky with your left arm. Exhale, continue to move your left hip towards your left thigh. Bring more weight forward of this posture, so in your left standing leg, it's hurting you to reach your arm up and over. Take your left hand behind your head. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your right side. You're in lateral flexion. Inhale, lift up to your left elbow and arm. You're in lateral extension on the left side. 2 sides of the same coin, just like the heart and mind. On your next inhale, keep your arms as they are, but start to pivot to the ball of your right foot. Your hips now are pointing forward. You're still in the flexion of your right side, but you're moving back at a diagonal. You might be able to reach your right hand to the back of your right thigh or maybe even your calf. Lateral flexion on your right side, extension on your left. Inhale. And exhale, hips forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to warrior 2. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down left and right. Inhale, plank. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, cobra, face front. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra, look over your left shoulder. Try to spot your left foot. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra, look over your right shoulder. Imagine you could spot your right foot. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you're looking in that direction. Exhale, down. Tuck toes. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, drop to your knees. Big toes touch, knees wide. Use your blanket or block as desired. Clear and ground with the help of your breath. Deep check. How's your mind? How's your heart? How's your breath? Inhale back to tabletop. And when you exhale, actually move your knees behind you, lower your body to the ground. Inhale up onto your elbows and your forearms. When you exhale, walk over with your elbows and your forearms to your right side. So you can already feel it. You're in a lateral flexion on your right side, extension on the left. Bend your right heel toward your bum, look back, see if you can spot your right foot. Now replace your right hand where your right elbow is and make that flexion of your right side more at a diagonal, so you're also bringing some rotation in there. Inhale, you may or may not reach your right arm up and back for the outside or inside of your right foot. See if you can reach for the inside. That might be kind of a fun challenge. Inhale, kick your foot into your hand. Exhale, push your 2 hip points down. Take another breath in. And then exhale, release. Right elbow down, right leg straight. Inhale, your elbows, your forearms, your gaze through center. And then exhale, walk your elbows and your forearms to your left side. Inhale. When you exhale, kick your left heel to bum. Replace your left hand where your left elbow was. Left hand goes where your left elbow is. So you can kind of mantle yourself a little higher up to look back for your left foot. 2 hip points down. You're in lateral flexion at your left side and reaching back at a diagonal, left hand for the inside of your left ankle. Kick your foot into your hand. Press your 2 hip points down. Take a breath in. And then exhale, release, left elbow and forearm down. Left leg long, and inhale back through center. Exhale, make a pillow with your hands for your forehead to rest, and shake your hips out. Hands on either side of your rib cage, upper ribs. Tuck your toes, and you'll push up to hands and knees. When you exhale, move your hips towards your heels so you're stretching the soles of your feet. If that's way too much, then back off. If you need to completely untuck your toes, if there's something really intense going on with the bottoms of your feet, that's fine. Otherwise, you're here towards that active child's pose shape, stretching the soles of your feet. We'll need that momentarily. And then back up to tabletop. When you exhale, untuck your toes and yogi drum roll your feet out. Inhale, right leg reaches out. When you exhale, do a half circle to step your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand. Once again, help it all the way if you need to. This might be a good time to use a blanket or an extra little towel underneath your left knee. Do you need it? Want it? Wiggle your foot in so your right knee is directly over your right ankle. find your block or whatever you're using to help you with height and place that to your outer left. Let me turn towards you. Place your block to your outer left ankle shin area. I'm keeping my left toes tucked to keep my heel closer to reach, but especially if you're using your block and it's hurting the ball or the sole of your foot, then you can untuck. Move your block close in to your leg. You come up like you would in a low lunge, right knee directly over right ankle, right knee and toes forward. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, reach your left arm forward and up. And when you exhale, start to swing your left arm back. Reach for your block. Some of you might take a hold of your ankle, and that's totally cool. Take your thumb out and your forefingers in. You have that kind of open grip like we practiced in that bow variation. Right knee stays over right ankle. What wants to happen is that we lean into the back of the posture, but keep it even press down through your right foot. As you press down through your right foot, pull it back. So here, we're in a little bit of a lateral flexion at a diagonal. Inhale, right arm up. You can, of course, take your right hand behind your head or reach it up and over. You can even move your block down a notch. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze, close left side a little bit. Inhale, reach, feel that openness of right side. Two sides of the same coin. Let's take another breath in together. Exhale, looking back over your left shoulder. Take another inhale. When you exhale, take your right hand to your right thigh. Push yourself off of your block. And bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Step your right knee back. Move your block to your right side. Left leg goes out to your left side. Make a half circle to step it to the outer edge of your left foot. Using your blanket or not. I'll show you on the other side without the props. Left knee over left ankle, right knee down. Hands to your side, take a breath in. And then exhale, arms down. Inhale, right arm reaches up and back behind. As you exhale, right hand finds your block or your heel. Thumb facing out, fingers face in, so you have that open grip. Squeeze, close, laterally flex at your right side so you feel your left side open. You're reaching back at a diagonal. Left knee stays over left ankle, stays over left ankle. Again, more weight will want to come to the back of this posture. Try to take the skin of your belly forward and lift your heart up to keep more weight forward. Left foot down and kind of pull it back like you were trying to pull yourself forward. Inhale, left arm up, left hand behind your head or extend. Some of you might even feel like it's accessible to untuck your toes. You can and you want. Inhale. Exhale. Look over your back shoulder. Take another breath in and out. Inhale, left hand to left thigh. Go slow, lift off of your block or your leg. And bring it back in. Hands down to the inside of your left foot. Take your left knee down. Cap or cow pose. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, neutral spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, cow. Exhale, neutral. Hips to heels. You can sit on your butt or just kneel if it hurts. It's too much flexion on your knees or it hurts your ankles. So we made it. We made it to our peak pose of Twisted Camel. Some of you might have already done your version of the peak. that variation from low lunge. I love it. I think it feels really, really good. And it might be a good option for you today. And if you don't think that that one feels very, 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 very good, actually, then maybe even exploring one of the postures back, that variation of bow pose that we did. And we didn't use it today, but I would say even if you can't quite reach your foot, continuing to reach back would be really, really, really cool. And I always imagine if I can't make a grip, that I have some resistance, like maybe like a wall behind my foot. So I create my own resistance to push back. So I still get that engagement through the legs as I reach. That's okay. If you have a strap, you could use a strap as well. So you can do both sides that way, as we do either side in our twisted camel, or you could come into that lunge variation again in any of the ways that we just did. Otherwise, we're starting from here, kind of a little bit of a kneeling toe stand situation. I do understand that it could hurt, especially if you have like plantar fasciitis or things going on with the soles of your feet. It can just be way too much of an ask in this way. So I wonder if you folded your blanket or used a couple blocks to put underneath your knees. You'd have to make sure it's stable, of course. If that would lessen the intensity, or even if you made a little roll here. It's too big of a roll, but I wonder if that could help. Something like this, if you can see, making a roll for underneath your ankles, sitting back, and then you're still kind of in the shape. So let's explore, let's see what happens. If none of that, if all that just seems like it's getting in the way, you could technically keep your toes untucked and then just start from here. But humor me for a moment and try to make something like this work if possible, because I think you'll get more out of the posture potentially. All right, so from here, I'll demo the peak posture, and then you can decide what option you want to do. If you want to go back to that bow, if you want to do the low lunge variation of the twisted camel, or if you're going to come into twisted camel. So take your block to the outer edge of your right foot, close into your body. I'm just showing you first, and then you can decide what you want to do. Hands to your lower back, and already start to bring your cow shape here. So rather than think of bending back, think about taking your ribs and your heart forward. Really, it's the skin of your belly forward. You can continue to hug your ribs in, heart lifts. And then you'll take the entire posture up, hips forward. Only press your hips forward as far as, only lean back as far as your hips will lean forward. So if you feel like you hit a wall with your hips here, don't continue to lean back, if that makes sense. From here, you'll reach your right arm up and back behind you. Start to gaze past your right shoulder and see if you can reach for your block. You might need to move it closer to you. Some of you might not use a block at all and reach back for your ankle, thumb in, forefinger out. It's that same open hand grip. Some of you might untuck your toes. That increases, you might have just seen that, the back bend significantly. So just be excessively gentle with your choices, I would say. When we come back out, let me do that. We come back out, you'll simply slide your hand back to your lower back, turn from that flexion back to neutral, and then sit with your hips back towards your heels. Keep that shape. Let your body go to neutral. Avoid rounding your back because we're going to go straight back into a back bend. So we want to kind of keep that going and flowing. So now that you know what the peak pose is, you have options. You've done it once. I've guided you in and out of the bow variation. So feel free to take yourself to your belly now if you're going to be doing that, getting any props you might need for that. Otherwise, you can start by stepping your left foot front if you're moving into the variation we did just before this, in the lunge variation of Twisted Camel. Or now you're with me, toes tucked under, support yourself with props as needed, hands to your lower back, block available. Inhale into your cow shape, and exhale here. Inhale, take the entire posture up, lift your hips, lean your hips forward. The moment your hips don't go forward anymore, then avoid leaning back. Take a breath in. Exhale, start to look over your right shoulder, bring some lateral flexion to your right side, and reach your right hand back at that diagonal. Thumb out, forefingers in for the open hand grip. You may use your block. You might not use your block and reach for your ankle. You might untuck your toes or keep them tucked. Go slow. Left hand behind your head. Stay there, or option to reach your left arm over. Looking back behind you with that flexion on right side, extension on left side. Two sides of the same coin, just like the heart mind. Inhale. When you exhale, take your left hand back to your lower back. Tuck your toes back under if you untucked them. And then reach your right hand back to your lower back, turn forward, inhale. Exhale, bring the whole posture down. Keep your spine and a back bend for a moment, inhale. And then exhale, neutral spine. Long spine. Take your hands to the ground, shake your feet out. Switch sides if you're in the bow variation on your belly, or if you're in the lunge variation, it'll be your right foot forward this time. You'll have to move all your props to the other side. Otherwise, once again, you're with me. Tuck toes, hips to heels, set your block up so it's just within hand's reach, outer edge of your left ankle foot. Take your hands to your lower back. Inhale, so you're in a neutral position, just spines and what's considered extension. Exhale. When you inhale, make a cow shape. So the skin of your belly moves forward, your heart lifts up. As you exhale, take your ribs forward and in, but inhale, skin of your belly goes, I was saying down and in. Skin of your belly goes forward, heart lifts up. Look up. Here we are. On your next inhale, take the entire posture up. Only lean back as far as your hips will push forward. The moment your hips feel that resistance, like you can't go forward anymore, then you know you're at your edge. Take a breath in. When you exhale, start to peek over your left shoulder, bring some lateral flexion to your left side. Reach your left hand back, so now you're at diagonal. Thumb out, forefingers in, so it's that open hand grip like we've been working. Stay here, or you might ditch the block for your ankle. And your ankles squeeze in towards each other. Notice if they're kind of dipping out to the side, try to squeeze them in like you had the block in between them. You might untuck your toes, you might not. Be extra kind to yourself. Skin of your belly forward, heart up. Option to reach your right hand behind your head or extend it over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Feel the extension on your right side. Exhale, squeeze. Feel the flexion on your left side. Inhale, right hand back to your lower back. Exhale, retuck your toes under if you untucked them. And then inhale, left hand from your block or your foot back to your lower back. Keep that cow shape, look up. Exhale, bring your hips. You can untuck your toes or keep them tucked all the way back down. Hold your cow shape for a breath in. And then exhale, neutral spine, hands to thighs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, back to hands and knees. When you exhale, yogi drum rolls your toes out, especially if you did a lot of tucking your toes under. And then meet me in a seated position. Cross at your ankles, face the top of your mat. Sit on your blanket or your block, if that feels supportive to you. Rest one hand on top of the other. Draw your front ribs in and down. think that's what I was trying to say earlier. And then tuck your chin slightly in, reach up from the crown of your head. Deep check. How is your mind? How is your heart? How is your breath? On your next inhale, extend your legs long in front of you. And exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Relax your feet, your legs, your front body, your back body, your arms, your head. Allow yourself to be really passive and melty in this forward fold. Breathing front to back, side to side. Fill yourself up. And each time you breathe out, can you release any little bits of tension that might be there? Any little residue lingering? And just enjoy a counter posture. Draw the flexion and the rotation. Lateral flexion and rotation. Just feeling the balancing effects of simply folding forward. Inhale all the way up. When you exhale, make sure there's space behind you. You may need to scoot forward a little bit. Lower yourself all the way down. Try not to lie on your mic. Arms at your sides. You can move into like a daydream position, hands behind your head. Relax your feet, your legs, your belly and your back, your arms, your chest, your neck, your throat, your face, your head. What state of mind are you in now, right now? What's really with you? What's on your heart? And what are the qualities of your breath? What's your breath showing you about where you're at right now? Deep breath in. Soft sigh out. Glimmer through fingers and toes. Roll through ankles and wrists. Inhale, full body stretch. And then exhale, roll to your left or your right side. Push yourself all the way up. Come to a seat. Half gaze or eyes closed. Hands at heart center. An acknowledgement of your practice. Focusing on the physical actions of lateral flexion of the spine. And the theme of heart-mind as our internal GPS, as two sides of the same coin. Showing us the way. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Thank you so much for making time for your practice, for choosing to practice with me through this video across time and space. I hope it served. As always, take what did, leave what didn't. From my heart to your heart, namaste. Many blessings.